Welcome to our 5 on 5. I'm pleased to be joined by Noah Robinson. He's a chemist at the Oregon Institute of Science and Medicine, your family's nonprofit. Obviously a Republican candidate for Senate District 2, representing Josephine County and parts of Jackson and Douglas County. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So, of course, your father, Senator Robinson, currently holding the seat, can't seek re-election, and you've acted as a volunteer legislative aide for him. Do you differ with him on any issues since you're running for what is now his seat?
No, I think on the issues we're very similar.
Okay, well that makes it easy for me and for our viewers. So according to the Oregon Capitol Chronicle, you and your opponent, State Representative Christine Goodwin, both support gun rights, parental choice in schools, low taxes, resource industries such as timber and law enforcement, and you both oppose abortion. Where do you differ?
I think that we do, I think, agree on those
That's
issues.
accurate. Okay.
The way we differ is I don't believe in the compromising, negotiating, deal-making that goes on up in Salem. Everyone takes part in this, and what happens is the state moves further and farther left the more we do with this. So I'm, of course, happy to talk to Democrats, Republicans, everybody, try to improve the real legislation. But if the end product is something that violates your principles, I'll vote no on it. My dad's been that way too.
Okay, so to clarify, if there's a large bill that, you know, at the macro level you support that, but in the micro and the devil's in the details type thing, there's things you don't like, you would not support the bill?
Yes. Now it depends upon how bad the details are, but for the most, it's usually pretty major.
Okay. Minority parties, obviously, you know, you're going to see this one coming. Minorities and parties in state legislatures across the country have often turned to walkouts to stem the tide of the majority party, as Republicans have, of course, done in Oregon. And the Measure 113 is preventing your dad from running for re-election in the seat. If you were elected, would you ever walk out?
Of course, because when the legislation is something so bad that you need to stop it that way, obviously your career is far less important than the legislation itself. And for my dad, it was an easy decision. We looked at those bills, they were so bad. There's the Democrat agenda. I don't know why they are pushing this kind of stuff, but if the legislation's that bad, yes, you walk out. Okay,
and if you walked out, would trying to think of the way to phrase the question, would you walk out enough to the point where you could not run for re-election,
yes,
like your father in
That's
this case?
Right. And I hope we could get the other Republicans, because of course you need enough of them to actually do it. But yes, I definitely would. Because,
okay.
Again, like I said, it's far more important to protect Oregonians than it is to worry about your political career next election. And I also would add to that, I think if you're running for office, I firmly believe you should, in this term, you should only be running if you think you can do something worthwhile in the next term. I don't view it as a career where, you know, I'm going to be in there. And I'm not saying I won't run for re-election if I think I can do something useful, but I'm looking at this one term, I think I can be very helpful.
Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Much more with Noah in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. We're going to be here with Noah Robinson, the Republican candidate for Senate District 2, representing Josephine County, parts of Jackson and Douglas County. Noah, you designed a homeschool self-teaching curriculum and were yourself homeschooled. Why do you want to get rid of both the federal and state departments of education?
Because they're unnecessary and they get in the way. Local control for schools is the best possible option. That way the parents have direct control over what goes on in their schools. One of the problems we have is that the school boards don't really control the schools. The state tells them what to do. So that needs to be changed. Homeschoolers, they can teach their children to read in 6 months and they're off to the races. It works great. And then they read lots and lots. My sister Bethany, she has a 8-year-old daughter who has read over 1,000 books. She started a little early. Big books.
That's amazing.
So homeschoolers do really well. And there's no reason whatever. Educating children, you have to do the work, but it's actually not that hard. And I think it needs to be returned to local control.
Most elections are decided by voters 50 plus. If elected, what would you do in office to benefit them and the challenges they face?
In terms of, just in general?
Just in general for seniors.
Yes. I basically have a get the government off your back approach. I think we need to get bureaucrats out of people's way. I think we need to curb agency power. I think we need to lower taxes. Just Oregonians work great. We don't need the government telling them everything to do.
Okay. No, great to meet you. Thanks so much for coming in. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Stay with us. We'll be right back.